Est-ce qu'on est bien là? Petit réglage. Ouais. Bon. Allez, un petit live sur Hitman 3 PS5. C'est parti. Allons-y. Voilà, on va se refaire la première mission. Donc, à Dubaï, avec vous. Je l'avais déjà fait sur YouTube. Là, on l'a fait sur Twitch. C'est parti.
Look closer. In the shadows. Behind the everyday world.
Perds pas de temps. Alors si vous voulez voir un live que j'ai déjà fait, allez sur ma chaîne YouTube. Il y aura plus de détails. Là on est sur Twitch, donc le but c'est éliminer 2 personnes. Donc vous avez leur nom en haut à gauche. Donc allons-y. Je vous laisse profiter des paysages, du jeu de lumière. Donc on a déjà ici un pistolet. Alors sachant que j'ai déjà fait la mission, à la base on n'arrive pas là, on arrive à une autre partie du bâtiment. Je laisse profiter, regardez. Magnifique. Donc, on perd pas de temps. Le but c'est de pouvoir passer la sécurité. Donc ici on nous demande d'aller directement à un panneau de contrôle, pas un panneau de contrôle mais un panneau d'information. Donc on va interagir.
Listen, I want to talk to the partners directly. Make them understand why all of this is happening. And that terminal gives me an idea. There's a server room near the Sheikh's personal reception. If you can gain access to it, we might be able to recover useful intel from it. We'll have to work together to hack the system, but it's our best shot.
Alors attendez. Hop. Bon ça c'est bon. Donc on va essayer de se trouver une petite tenue un peu plus correcte pour voir. Forcément passer. Donc là vous voyez. La petite barre jaune, c'est le doute que vous mettez, c'est le doute que vous percevez auprès des autres personnes. On va essayer de passer par un autre endroit que je connais. Oui, si on peut le maîtriser, ça serait tout pas mal. Et hop, on lui brise le coup. On va le déplacer un petit peu. Hop, impeccable. Bon, je connais le code. Vous voyez là-bas, 4706, c'est le code de la porte. Je vous dis que je connaissais déjà. Si on peut rentrer.
Art critics, royalty, politicians, YouTubers, you name it. Everyone's in the building today. So that means new rules. Okay, before we go through those, I want
Parce qu'on pourrait faire avec une banane, mais c'est pas grave. Donc là, le but, c'est de se diriger vers la salle de sécurité. Tout simplement. Donc je vous rappelle, on est sur Hitman 3 PS5. Donc c'est la première mission, c'est Dubaï. Je vais découvrir un peu ce qui est jeu de lumière en même temps. Bon, ça c'est les toilettes, on s'en fout un peu. Bon, ce qui nous intéresse, c'est ici. On va monter à l'étage. Et vous voyez, sécurité, donc à gauche. On rentre.
Any news on the new guard assigned to codename Pinky? I got word that he entered the building, but he hasn't reported for duty yet. Probably still down at the depot, getting his uniform. I just hope he's got his papers with him. I heard rumors that he used to work for that Dawood Rangan.
Donc là, le but, c'est de les récupérer, de se faire passer pour... On va se faire passer pour une recrue, on va dire, entre guillemets. Donc là, on va se diriger vers la salle de change. Enfin, les vestiaires, on va dire. Donc on descend. Donc qui se trouve ici au niveau des cuisines. Donc là on peut pas passer là. Donc là elle est là, la personne est là. On reprend ces documents, hop, rien à foutre. On se barre. Soupçonné, on s'en fout. Hop, on retourne directement à la salle de sécurité. Si on se trompe d'endroit, ça va pas aller.
I think I can open that window remotely. Scan the lock with your camera and I'll have a try.
On continue. Donc là, il suffit juste maintenant de donner les documents.
Reporting for duty.
About time. Our client has been going out of his mind waiting for you. Do you have the papers?
Yes.
Good. I'll call him now.
How should I address him?
It's classified, so you don't call him anything. But officially, he's just known as codename Pinky.
Donc on va juste attendre notre première cible, qui devrait arriver juste là normalement. Derrière cette
Sir,
porte.
this is security. Just calling to let you know your new guard has finally arrived. Yes, sir. See you soon. Okay, wait here. He'll be here shortly. Mumbai. I heard that was a shitstorm. It's good to see a man like you back in the saddle. Guess that's just our line of work.
Okay, you must be my new escort.
Il y a une arme déjà qu'on pourrait peut-être récupérer un peu plus tard.
Very high standards. And trust you will do
Ok,
your
bon,
duty.
ici il est là. Bon,
Right there.
ça dépend du moment où
That's
on peut
my
arriver
first
derrière droite.
status. Providence partner, self-entitled and arrogant little worm. He might not look like much, but he's done more damage to the world than you could dream.
Hop, on lui transmet les documents qu'on a volés.
Well, this all looks very promising. Yes. Good. Oh, you worked for Dawood Rangan. Hope you weren't there on the day of his tragic death. Okay, this all looks very good. Okay, walk with me. I need to go through some ground rules. I expect you to be by my side 24/7, unless I say otherwise. Bathroom breaks are, of course, permitted, but only when I say so. I have a very important and delicate meeting today, in which I expect you to keep your ears closed, but your eyes wide open. Understood? Now, your papers were indeed impressive, but I need to see what you can do with my own eyes. My father used to take me hunting. He was an avid hunter. I personally hated it, but always admired his skill with a knife, and grew to appreciate what it takes to gut an animal. Have you ever tried to gut an animal?
Yes.
Good. Then you know it's not so easy as it looks. Like trying to stab a rubber ball. It bounces back if you don't stab it correctly. You're almost here. You have to understand. I didn't get where I am by blind faith. Okay, we are almost there. You see the shooting targets? Any fool can shoot a target. With a knife? Now, that's where the talent lies. My father always used to say, if you are good with a knife, you're even better with a gun.
Donc là, on
I want to see your
va
skills.
faire l'élimination couteau, même si on pourrait directement le faire à l'arme.
Throw a knife. I'm sure a psychiatrist would have a field day with that statement. So, show me what you got. You do well and you work for me. Fail, you get out of here, and I never want to see your face again. Let's just hope he's half as good as you were.
Only time will tell. But I doubt it.
You cocky idiot.
Allez hop,
What to do with all
Ça, c'est
that
fait.
power? You got him, 47. Marcus Stuyvesant won't be a problem anymore. Let's move on to Carl Ingram. We're not done yet.
Donc ça c'est fait. Donc là, maintenant, on peut s'attaquer à la deuxième cible.
Why do you have your gun out? Jesus. What's up?
Je me trompe, ça va pas aller.
Hey, what are you doing? Put that thing away. You're gonna scare me.
Oh, faisons qu'on l'a fait rapide. Moi je me suis pas posé la question à savoir si on pouvait passer par là-bas.
Put that away, will you? You're making me nervous. Pretty swanky place, huh?
Oh, yeah. I could get used to a gig like this. Beautiful view. Lots of
Mild. Day's not great. You waiting until the first?
Yep.
Look, it's just a precaution.
I've been personally invited by the Royal Highness. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
You want to holster that? Looking good today, sir.
That's how it is. Think about it and come back if you want. I'll be waiting upstairs in the reception. Understood?
Crystal. That Rangan guy. Never asked me to work for him, never calls me. I put in my CV.
Donc notre deuxième cible pardon, qui se trouve à l'étage. Donc, je vous rappelle qu'on est sur Hitman 3, PS5. On est sur la première mission de Dubaï, que j'ai déjà fait. Est-ce qu'on tente comme ça ou pas? On va voir si on peut réussir cette mission comme ça, éventuellement. En étant caché.
JHQ, how copy? Over. It's happening again. You don't know who you're messing with. You're gonna get hurt. Check every square inch. Move. Reading 555. Man, understood. Bag it and tag. Be a crash. Do you have info on the hurt? What can we do? Find out.
On va attendre un petit peu.
Hope they stocked up on body bags.
Bon, ça pourrait être une porte de sortie également pour nous.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Ingram, who is the Royal Highness's guest, has requested no noise of any kind.
Okay, but it means I'll work slower.
I don't care what tempo you work.
It will be
By the card
slow.
reader. We get an alert, we both swipe our cards, and bingo. Lockdown.
What if the other guard is using the bathroom?
Well, it's time. So if that can happen, I can simply run down.
Happy to not be at work tomorrow.
Donc notre prochaine cible, elle est juste là. Juste ici. avec ces deux gardes du corps.
That's Carl Ingram, Provident's partner and brass-balled billionaire. A legendary political fixer, Ingram is old money and as rotten as they come.
Okay. Jeffrey excelled. Lo and behold. Scholarships. Soon to be admitted into schools. His parents could not afford, and everyone...
We got him, 47. Soon there will be no more Providence. And you need to find an exit. Our business is done here, but it's far from over.
Non, on aura une sortie là-bas. On va sortir là-bas. Ok, le golf c'est juste ici. Et voilà. Plutôt rapide. Nouveau record personnel, donc 25 minutes pour terminer la mission. Je pense qu'on pourrait aller encore plus vite. Mais bon, le but c'est de découvrir aussi un peu. Bon, on passe à la suite.
If that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
Donc je découvre avec vous la deuxième mission. Moi c'est toujours la première. Mais... Donc on continue l'histoire. C'est parti. Fin du voyage. Intéressant le paysage. Un manoir.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Ok.
Right. Happy hunting,
On peut l'éliminer direct.
See you on the other side.
Oh, c'est bien. Allez, c'est parti. Donc trouver le dossier et éliminer la vieille.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail
C'est bien qu'on
is
prenne sa place, le détective privé là.
so Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
T'inquiète. On va faire ça bien.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
you're here. Can I take...
You know you're trespassing. Oh, I think you do.
Last visual on the perpetrator spotted. Come on. Getting real.
Mauvaise idée.
I can't see him. Can anyone see him? I don't see him. I don't see him. I got him. Right there. Where is he? Anyone got a visual? No sign here. We lost them too. There he is.
Voilà. Mauvaise idée. Je pensais qu'on aurait pu y aller en force. Pas possible, malheureusement.
Thornbridge Manor.
Ah mais non, mais passe-le, ça on s'en fout. Ça je m'occupe de direct.
Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
I'm hit!
Mr. Whitmer, thank God you're here. Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
C'est vraiment un jeu de bourrin quand même.
Yes, please.
If you'd follow me.
Allez, avance.
I know I oughtn't say anything, but I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange. Preparing for Madame's funeral, and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all. This is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. Oh, I could just cry.
Hello, sir. If you want to pass, you need to comply to a frisk, sir. Sorry about this, sir. Won't be a moment. Good. You're clean and good to go.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. You've likely not exhausted the room for clues, 47.
Intéressant.
Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Faut tout souvenir.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
Ford Jr. calling from Morgan, Yates & Cohn. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlisle account HTC depot number 5085.
Hey, buddy, this area's off limits.
No, I need it immediately.
Smart move.
Yes, I'll hold.
passer par le côté.
A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Oh, stop pacing. For God's sake, Emma.
Why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Come here to play with you and then show up like nothing. Nothing else about anything exciting for me. I'm telling you, she's not here.
I should get back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
God, not this again.
So I got hold of the officer.
Retrouver le majordome.
Did you want to check on that undertaker in charge of the funeral? I got word he's upset with Madame Carlyle.
Everything's in order.
Yo, man, what's up? Calm the fuck down, Ant. You know I'm good for it. I'm a Carlisle. I made it. Think back and enjoy the innocence. Think what I'm gonna do. No, try. I'm gonna hang up. Let's talk when you calm the fuck down.
Some sort of dickhead. I want to talk with you, not at you.
I actually...
Mine.
Yeah, I should.
All right. Later. Who am I kidding? He's probably not looking for anything serious.
Là, t'es coincé là. Retrouver le majordome.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
And that solicitor upstairs, why do you think he's here?
diligence always trumped the family.
I think
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, keep it real.
Hey, Ron, did Yates...
Je pense qu'on a fait le tour. Une putain de marche d'armes. Peut-être redescendre, ouais.
Maybe that's where it is.
What is?
My lost button. The one you couldn't find at the graveyard. Wouldn't it be a good idea for you
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
This is very useful information, 47.
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Hi.
Can I do anything for you? Yes, actually. Could you speed up time so I don't die from boredom? I fear I may not survive an entire weekend in this shithole.
Perhaps a brisk walk in the garden would do you good.
I said speed up time, not my passing. Now just go away.
I'll come back later.
How very kind of you, dear Mr. Fernsby. I hope to see you soon. Creepy old git.
Patrick Carlyle. Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you?
Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
Déconnecté du réseau.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
Fake funeral tomorrow. Zachary found dead upstairs today. Death is everywhere.
I never thought of it that way. God, it's such a big responsibility having a baby. I have to protect it, right?
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Looking good today, sir.
relaxed. I wish you'd take things more seriously.
What are you going on about now?
This whole situation isn't normal. How do you think it affects Patrick? He must be so confused. I don't like how Alexa's way of running things impacts our son.
Patrick? His only concern right now is boredom. He's too young to appreciate the spectacle of mother screwing up.
He's worried about something. A mother knows. This concerns his future as well. All this will be his someday.
Exactly. He has nothing to...
No, sorry, sir, but you're just making me feel a little
Can you tell me where you
uncomfortable
were
now, okay?
yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
You're invading my personal space, sir.
Exactly. He has nothing to worry about.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. God, quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
I could listen all day. He pours emotion into that instrument.
You have a way with words, Stan.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me. Yes, hi, Cassie. It's me again, Edward. I know I'm not supposed to leave you messages, and this is the last time, I promise. It just... I don't know how to handle it.
How tall are you? You could be a model.
Right.
I'm serious. I have a friend who's a model. She says that's the sweet, sweet life. You should come and stay at my place.
Mary is so upset. And she's never seen a dead body before.
Poor thing.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, it's all too much. Hope you're well, sir.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
I can feel the hair on my neck. Quite the moment, but you're right.
Oui, où ce putain de majordome là.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Ok, donc tant qu'on n'a pas, on n'est pas sûr.
She should have gone with a better surgeon. Symmetry, symmetry, Emma.
Please keep your comments to yourself, Gregory.
How the hell did that happen? No, we all signed it. I gave it to him in person. He says he got it notarized the very same day. Right, listen. You go to their office and ask for Cheryl. She's the best they've got. Tell her you want to see the records. Don't take no for an answer. And call me as soon as you've got them. Thank you. Get the body.
On est un peu bloqué là.
The 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now.
I know I have to, but Amy thinks she might be pregnant. I'm going to be a dad.
I remember I was. The ones that come after certainly are a lot less of a worry.
I need to stop thinking about Emma. Makes me so angry.
J'arrive. J'arrive. Bon. On va s'arrêter là. On sauvegarde. Et on reprend plus tard. Sur ce.